No excuses then, the front page of sports summing up what was a miserable performance from Barcelona as we welcome in, very warm welcome. Always just take a look at the top of the table. Barcelona then 2 points adrift of Real Madrid at the top of the table. I forgot about the table because I was so excited about the return of Mario Malkia to the show. There we are. Gemma's here as well. Well done, Gemma. Well, let's start, shall we, in Barcelona with you, Gemma. That was arguably, certainly the first half, the worst performance we've seen from Barcelona under Hansi Flick, giving up so many opportunities. What has been the reaction in Barcelona to another turgid performance, particularly defensively?
Yes, it definitely was the first half game of under the Hansi Flick era, for sure. There is a sense of disappointment after back-to-back defeats, PSG, but especially concerning was this game yesterday in Sevilla, because they were unable to find a reaction. They were sleepy. That's what Pau Cubarsí had to admit after this game. It's concerning also the physicality. We saw it against PSG, and it's starting to be questioned a little bit the high pressure of Hansi Flick, not the manager himself. He has a lot of credit for what he accomplished last year, but also maybe the way to adapt this high pressure, because he doesn't have the same players. There's a key piece missing in the defense, Íñigo Martínez, and the injuries, and some of the players are maybe not able to perform that well as before. Of course, there is this physicality issue and the injuries. And now the sense is that it's good to have this international break to think a little bit, to work it. And the big question mark now is if Hansi Flick can convince these players to work as much as they did last season.
Mario, you used to be a defender. What is it like watching this Barcelona backline give up the chances that they did like against Sevilla? And obviously, we've seen it over the past 18 months. They got away with it last season. They won the title. They played excellently at times. But it just seems that level has dropped off at the start of this campaign and made them so much more vulnerable defensively.
I don't think it's only the level that dropped off. I think it's also that people started to understand the way you want to play. Because if you play a high line, everybody sees it. So everybody's going to try to find the weak spots. That is their biggest enemy at the moment.
Gemma, Hansi Flick, I imagine, as you say, he's got money in the bank from what he did last season. But still, there's got to be question marks about his lack of adaptability to his backline, to these situations.
Yes, but I think the question mark is going more to the players than the coach for what he achieved, and because since he arrived, he managed to get all the love, all the credit from the fan base.
I understand that, Gemma, but this is a coach, let's not forget, who continued to employ these tactics when you had a lead against Inter Milan in the semi-finals. As much as you want to blame the players, is it that just the players aren't understanding his tactics are too risky, or he's asking too much from his players? Like, you've got Joe Martinez, the left back, who clearly isn't up to task. Yeah. So surely you have to adapt your tactics to him being in the starting 11, as opposed to trying to get him to perform at a level that he just can't.
But the thing is that he tried a little bit sometimes. For example, in the second half against PSG, the last 3 changes he made, they were not offensive. This is usually what Hansi Flick would do, try to win the game, not go for the draw. The big problem is that Barcelona had a pre-season preparation as never before, because they didn't play the Clubs World Cup, and we thought that they would be much better at the beginning of this season, and we are not seeing this. Yes, there are injuries, but somehow it was an exceptional game too. That I don't want to say that the temperature was an excuse in Sevilla, but it was so much hot for the change in Barcelona. That day, I come from Barcelona, it was raining cats and dogs, it's autumn weather here, so the shock at this early kickoff, I could see the players being like not very comfortable on the field. This is not an excuse. They are well aware. All the discussions after the game where we played awful, we need to improve. There was a meeting after the game. Hansi Flick got all the players before we had the chance to talk to them. And then the argument of all these players was, it's our fault, we need to improve. We know what is the problem. So we will see if Hansi Flick finds that click that he needs to adapt this system with a little variations to these players that are not the same as last season.
Here's the problem. This ain't a one-off.
No. The newspaper Sports said, sin excusas, Gemma is giving a lot of excuses for Barcelona. And in all honesty, to your point, Dan, it's not just a Sevilla game situation. It wasn't just a heat in the Sevilla game situation. This has been going on over the course of the season. And you go back to games like Levante, like Real Sociedad, playing against PSG, and watch the goals in those games, and then watch the goals that Sevilla score, and they're all the same. They're all the same type of play. To the point that Mario was making, you're not playing by yourself on the field. You're playing against other teams and other managers that are now adjusting to what you're doing. And now they have had time to prepare and figure it out. It's not me making it up. It's Matias Almeida saying it himself in the cooling break of the first half yesterday. In good old Spanish, he said to these players, toca, devolución y pasa, which is basically up, back, and through.
Yes, yeah, I was going to say.
Well, yeah, okay. I was waiting for that, Dan. It's up, back, and through, which is essentially what Mario alluded to. You play the ball to the striker, that ball gets dropped off, and now you're looking for the outlet on the other side from a deeper run. And it happens regularly. It wasn't just that they were giving up chances in the first half. They were the same chances, the same play, over and over and over and over again, and you did nothing to address it. That is the responsibility of the manager and the players on the field. Both of them get equal blame here. The players are interested in keeping this high line because that's what the manager says. The manager wants the players to keep this high line because that's what he says, but nobody presses the ball. And if you don't press the ball and it's a high line, there's space behind you, you're always going to find it. And it happens time and time and time again. And I have no idea how players of this experience, let me just say before I go on, Íñigo Martínez has all of a sudden become Franz Beckenbauer.
Ballon d'Or, give it to him.
Huh? Íñigo Martínez wasn't even going to play last year if it hadn't been for injuries. And now we're saying Íñigo Martínez is the difference between Barcelona being successful or not. He wasn't even going to play last year. He played because of injuries and happened to stumble into a good season or better season than what Ronald Araujo was having. We're not going to make Íñigo Martínez the reason as to why this team, or the absence of Íñigo Martínez, the reason as to why this team is not successful. It's people on the field got to take responsibility, and the coach on the sideline has to take responsibility. And more so than anything, how about you take a step back as a back line when there's no pressure on the ball? How about you do that first? Then we can talk about whether this is the right setup or not.
See, that's the thing for me. Hansi Flick has to have a plan B here. A plan B in that everybody knows how you're going to play. But it worked for you so successfully last season because you were able to outscore the opponent, plain and simple.
Was everyone working harder last season as well?
I think opponents were adjusting to this high line. They got a little bit lucky, in occasions like Kylian Mbappe in the first Clásico. But then generally, you've been able to outscore the opponent. But no Rafinha, no Yamal on the park. Lewandowski misses a penalty, a couple other individual errors which bring goals, and all of a sudden, this house of cards comes crumbling. Now, you cannot simply rely, well, certainly not in European competition, on just outgunning the opponent. They will have a plan for you. They have good players. Maybe domestically, you're just more talented than everybody else, you can get away with it. And that, for me, while Hansi Flick came in, changed things at Barcelona, established a culture, now second season in, I expected to see a little bit more of an evolution of that. How do we play against? How do we cope with teams who are getting those third runners through? What's the plan B? And right now, Barcelona just do not have that. And if you throw in a couple of individual errors in there, you get a scenario like you saw yesterday.
And it's interesting, Mario, obviously at Araujo, we know that he's not a favourite with Hansi Flick. That was evident last season. He comes in, not a good performance from him. How do you deal this from a player's perspective? If you're a veteran of this side, do you have a conversation with Hansi Flick? Do you speak to the players amongst yourself? Because something clearly needs to be done because Barca are trending very much in the wrong direction.
But the key thing for me now is that we highlighted is that when you don't have the forwards that are really quick, and I'm talking about a Yamal, a Rafinha, when they don't play in your team, every team that's going to play against you is going to put more pressure on your defense because you have no outlet. And then the other thing that he highlighted that he said about the young, Pedri, he said, yeah, they're tired, they're playing so many games. But don't forget, the PSG game, what they played prior to this game, had a lot of impact on them. Physically and also how to prep because they got beaten. So then they play another team and they go away from home again and they're thinking like, how are we going to manage this? Now, because you try to recoup, try to recover, try to rethink, get the confidence back into the team, and then you face a team, it's so hot, it's so difficult, and they made it hard for you because they were physically so ready for them. And we always say that when you play against a Champions League team, the first 10 minutes are key. You got to make sure you make them know that I'm going to run really crazy at you. Meanwhile, that's what they did.
Meanwhile, sorry, what's the latest on Lamine Yamal, Gemma?
Well, his training, he didn't go with the Spanish national team, and he's better. He's working at the gym, not in the turf yet, but he's expected to start working with the teammates when they come back from the international break. The official medical report said 2-3 weeks. So not against Girona, but probably he can start having minutes. And the big red mark is for El Clásico. He wants to be 100% fit there, and it's going okay, according to our sources.
Mario, you started young, of course, famously. You were at school when you got the call up for Ajax. What's it like, this first kind of blip in your career? Because apart from this, Lamine Yamal's been pretty fit since he burst onto the scene. His first real taste of an injury which is keeping out of big games.
Now, it's always going to be a surprise for you because you don't know how to handle it straight away when you're young, right? So hopefully he has the right people around him that can, guide him in this situation. And the key thing is what we don't like when we're young is recovery. Sit and don't do anything. That's very, very difficult for a young boy. So I hope he understands that.
Shaka never had that problem, did you, Shaq? Sitting and doing nothing?
Oh, never young.
Confirmation here, obviously, he's played a lot of games since turning 18, double that of Pau Cubarsí. Meanwhile, sticking with Barcelona, a lot of speculation, of course, about their game against Villarreal, which talk about whether or not they're going to be allowed to play in Miami. This is what UEFA have said today. UEFA has today reiterated its clear opposition to domestic league matches being played outside their home country. However, given that the relevant FIFA regulatory framework currently under review is not clear and detailed enough, the UEFA Executive Committee has reluctantly taken the decision to approve on an exceptional basis the two requests referred to it. One of them, of course, is the Serie A game. The other is Villarreal against Barcelona. What's the reaction in Barcelona to this news, Gemma?
Well, there's nothing official yet because the decision still requires some formal approval from FIFA, from the US Soccer Federation, the CONCACAF. But I can assure you there's a sense of joy about this decision of UEFA because Barcelona have been trying to do this for over 5 seasons now. They are in a tricky money moment, so this is good for their money, for the financial problems, and also because this is an away game, so Barcelona considers it's not that bad for their fans. If we talk about the fan base, they are not that happy because Villarreal it's less than 3 hours drive from Barcelona, and they consider that this is not something very nice. But we have been hearing so much about this game that there is some sort of resignation amongst the fan base of Barcelona, and they somehow knew that at some point will be happening. And another happy man is the president of LALIGA, Javier Tebas. And this action by UEFA is seen as a final act. So Barcelona definitely abandons that idea of the Super League, and it's expected that Joan Laporta will go to the club's meeting later this week. He met with Al-Khelaifi, the president of this board of clubs of Europe that are absolutely against the Super League. So it's like the final gesture. So Barcelona leaves Real Madrid all by himself with the idea of the Super League.
Arsenal are top of the Premier League, of course, after that victory against West Ham. Meanwhile, drama at Stamford Bridge. That late winner from Estevao giving Chelsea the 2-1 victory over Liverpool. And as we said at the top of the show, it's been a while since Mario Malchiot has been on.
Oh, boy.
Wait a minute.
Of his predictions. Liverpool, top of the table. Arsenal second. Mo Salah to be the top goal scorer. Cole Palmer to be player of the year. And Bournemouth to get relegated. We won't talk about Bournemouth and their big surprise start to the season, Mario, but we will obviously talk about the possibility, if I gave it to you now, would you change your pick from Liverpool to Arsenal?
Arsenal always been on my mind. It won't
No,
even
don't give me
be
that
a
rubbish.
surprise.
You said Liverpool.
But Arsenal was on his
listen,
mind.
Listen, it's been on my mind. I'm going to be honest with you. Why Liverpool? Because, but why can I not be honest? It doesn't hurt me. Look, because I thought Liverpool won the league last season, so you think they're going to kick off better than what they're doing now. Arsenal clearly going to get their striker. Gilchrist, he comes in, and that is the chop that they needed. That is the only jinx that they were waiting for. Okay, they get that, and the team looks now, everybody can score. Everybody's trying to, impress. Madueke goes there. Like all the players, okay, Saka came back, injury, all that kind of stuff. But what I'm talking about, Arsenal always been a team that we have to, but we always talk about Arsenal only about one thing, what happens in December. And that's the same thing I'm saying. December is for me the key thing for Arsenal. But do I think they can win it? Oh, yes, of course.
I don't think that was my question. My question was, do you change your mind now as to who will win it?
I like you, though. I like you. Look at that smile on your face, man. Why are you smiling?
Because I love you, Mario, and I love the fact that you're avoiding my question.
Okay, you know what? I'll leave it the way it is for
Okay,
now.
so you think Liverpool are going to rally. Why have they started so badly, Mario? What has been the problem that you have seen, the number one concern if you're a Liverpool fan, from what we've obviously witnessed over the last couple of months?
So many players in a team that are very important for that team to make that next step. And the difficulty is like, okay, we talked about, remember last season, we talked a lot about, for example, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Oh, the problems and this and that. Okay, the kid goes away. Now we see how much of a miss he is for that team. You understand? Then we talk about Ritz is there now. Great, young talent. We cannot dispute that. But we are waiting for him to kick off. Why? Because I don't want to jump into the next game, but if I look at certain things, I'm waiting for him to bring something in the team. Salah's gone quiet. I don't know why, you understand, and I think he is probably the biggest picture we got to focus on, because regardless of the new boys coming in, this is the biggest one I'm focusing on. Salah was quiet because people started to understand. This is not something new, what is happening, because, okay, we know what Cucurella said about the game, that he said, like, we planned it, we gambled on it, but away from that, Salah is too quiet. We don't like Salah quiet like this, because when a footballer is that great and doing that many great things, I don't like him quiet like this.
Isn't it funny? We were sat here last year talking about Real Madrid have brought in one of the best players in the world. They're going to run away with the league. Look what Liverpool have done this summer. They brought in some of the best players around, great business. They're going to run away with the league. We saw it with Real Madrid, the change of personnel there. Toni Kroos, of course, leaving. And we're seeing it now with Liverpool, aren't we? That on paper, as great as it is to have these names come in, arguably better players, in reality, to get this team to gel is going to take time. And I suppose the question is, will they gel? Will this bear fruit?
I think eventually they will, but I will also say that we cannot underestimate the importance of acknowledging that this is a team sport.
Yeah.
And in order for a team to be successful, the pieces have to fit. And you cannot sacrifice the balance of your group so that you can fit in 5 or 6 attacking players at the same time. And so this is when the manager has to make tough decisions. I am not going to sacrifice the balance of the team. I'm not going to sacrifice the strength of this team through the midfield. And this is what happened a lot with Liverpool. You have a lot of attacking players that are kind of getting on each other's way, getting on each other's space. When they lose the ball in a bad area, now they don't have players tracking back, and actually they're getting played through the midfield, and teams are getting themselves in opportunities to attack Liverpool in moments of transition. When we think of Liverpool in the past, we think of Liverpool getting themselves out in transition. That is not happening regularly and consistently for Liverpool. More to the point, if you have, and maybe I'm being conservative, but if you have at least 5 or 6 players out of the starting 11 that are playing below the level of expectation, I don't care how talented you are and how great of a team you're supposed to be. If you are having players underperforming, and it's 5 or 6 players in that starting 11 that consistently are underperforming, eventually you're going to get found out. Eventually you're going to get exposed.
Why are they underperforming? What are we seeing from the likes of Salah, even Van Dijk? Well, why are they not up to the level that we're used to?
And that is a question that if Arne Slot had the answer to it, he would have figured it out by now. It's not easy to just pinpoint something, but I would say about Mohamed Salah, if I were his teammate, and I know how important he has been to my group. Say I'm Virgil van Dijk, and I know I'm dependent on Mohamed Salah. Man, I have seen him score game winner after game winner after game winner, and you're thinking, this guy is eventually going to score a game winner for me. But if I see him walking when we're struggling in transition, if I see him not getting behind the ball when he loses it himself, if I see him just parked on the right-hand side and not having an impact on what this team is trying to do, and when he does get his chances, he's not taking advantage of those opportunities, I feel compelled to say something. Yeah. Even if he is Mohamed Salah, even if he's a club legend, even if he's done so much for this club, I think right now too many players in this team feel like they're beyond reproach. And it's getting to the point to where you now have to be able to grind. And this group of Liverpool doesn't seem capable of grinding.
Back to my original question, why are they going to bond? Why is it going to work out in the end, given everything you've just said?
Because there is enough talent here. And I think there's enough personality here as well.
Right.
You just need to, I think, you just need to knock down some walls. Florian Wirtz needs to forget about fitting in. Needs to forget about, oh, this is what the manager is asking me to do. This is what this club wants me to do. No. Play the game as naturally you see it and feel it. That's when you're at your best. Mohamed Salah, we're going to have to demand that this guy does a lot more work than just parking himself on the right-hand side. And if he's not willing to do it, hey, it's not beyond the realm of possibility to say, Mo, you got to come and sit down, buddy. You got to come and see it from a different perspective. Because now I have 2 strikers that can actually, if I need to play with 2 strikers, I have Ekitike and Isak. And let's see what they look like playing as 2 strikers. If I'm looking for more balance, I have to take out offensive players. And if that means sacrificing Mohamed Salah so that he gets a new picture, watching it from the stands, then that's a decision I need to make. I already made that decision with Florian Wirtz. That didn't quite work out. Somebody's going to get sacrificed at some point. You're going to have to make tough decisions, and it's because the results are not coming.
Shaq, you must have been there, like you think back to that Newcastle run, where everything just seems easy.
Yeah.
You're going out, you're winning, it's great, everybody loves you, there's no criticism, and then snap. You go on this little bit of a run, and you've got us and everybody talking about where it's going wrong. And I imagine within a locker room, that dynamic can change quite quickly. Is that...
Absolutely it can. And now you're looking for those on-the-park leaders. And the truth is, you look at Liverpool's 11, as talented as it is, the leaders you're thinking are Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah. Van Dijk is very vocal and certainly leads by example as well. Mo Salah, you don't get the impression that he's vocal, that he's putting himself out there, that he's asking others to be accountable, let alone be accountable himself. And that's the issue here. You've got 2 players who kind of been there, seen it, done it all, especially with Alisson out of the park, out injured, who've done it all. One is struggling for form, which you've seen from time to time, but you know he scores goals. And the other is trying to get all the others afloat. And then to your question about why we still think Liverpool will come good, because 9 times out of 10, 99 out of 100, however you want to package it, when you put a bunch of talented players on the park together, they figure it out eventually.
Real Madrid didn't last season. They have to get rid of their coach.
Agreed. But you think it's well, that's one. That's the one out of 10. That's the one out of 100. But right now, you just feel if Virch gets a goal, how does that change his own feeling, his own confidence in this Liverpool team? If Isak gets a goal, which he is desperate for, how does that change how he plays the game? And you just feel that if they get over that hump, like Ekitike got over his very early and he flourished, if they're able to do that, all of a sudden you'll see the players that Arne Slot actually pay that amount of money for.
Mario?
Yeah. No, I totally understand what the guys are saying. I think tactically it was a very interesting game that we saw as well. You know, how that game was maneuvered. Because Slot, that is his, I think, in the middle of the park, he's very strong. And I think that is where he got overrun. And I think when you looked at the game, the way he was set up, Chelsea had a great answer to his setup. Because McAllister, if you look at McAllister, Malo Gusto was not worried about a lot of the football. Okay, he did a lot because he's a talented player, but his focus was McAllister. And then, of course, you have the other star man, you understand, at the moment now, I enjoy watching him, called Caicedo. The way Caicedo plays, if you take Caicedo out of the Chelsea team, you lose a big percentage of ball winning, tackles, fighting back, and dictating the rhythm of the play. And I think that was the biggest difference because he's clearly one of the best players in that team at the moment. But I felt like they had no answer to that. And when we talk about Salah, look, if you score, we will never talk about it. Because last season, he did the same thing. He had the conversation with Slot, and Slot said, okay, he asked him, he said, look, if you want me to do more backtracking, I might not be delivering the goals as much. But when you saw him in the game, the easiest trick for Salah, not for me, but for Salah, is going inside and hitting it far corner, goal. And, whoa, in the game, it was not coming off. People start even complaining. You never see his teammates complaining to him because he was always delivering.
Meanwhile, Mario, let's talk about the winners from that game, shall we? Your former club, Chelsea, of course. Arguably one of the best performances we've seen under Enzo Maresca. Is that fair?
One of the best for sure. I mean, the way he starts sprinting at the last goal is definitely one of the, one of the best. He has that confidence that he wants to go very direct. I know they have other players like Gitten and all that, but they are sometimes a little bit bumpy with the ball yet. They don't have that confidence yet. But this kid, 18 years old, you come from Brazil, come to a new city, and then straight away, first game an assist that was on Enzo's head, and then the second one now you do this. I mean, you cannot start better than at any club, I think. I hope only when you're that young for him to stay cool and just keep progressing because he's very talented.
Yeah, what a way to get your first goal for Chelsea. It's how do you stop Erling Haaland when he's in this? It was brilliant to see. Like you look at the strength that he used, and then to have the finish as well in what proved to be the winning goal for City.
Answer of whoever tried to stop him was Rudiger. When I saw him against Madrid, it was Rudiger. The way he played him, he kind of gave him the feeling like the battle is on. And Rudiger is the only one that I saw that could do that. Because all the other defenders that tried against him, he will score, and if he doesn't score, he almost looks like the problem is his and not the problem of the defender, that you were that good. No, he looks like, okay, I didn't have a good game, and that's what I like about him. That's why it's very, very difficult to stop him.
Can I ask you a question, Shat, that will upset City fans?
Ooh, here we go.
Is there part of you, if you're Erling Haaland, who joined the club at its peak, and seeing it the way it's trending at the moment, that thinks maybe he could do better elsewhere?
No. I don't think
there's not that temptation there to look at another club?
No. And you saw that in his commitment to Manchester City and signing 9 years. Which, but my point is, when you're a player like Erling Haaland, you've committed to one club, and it means as much as this club does to him.
But you're the best striker in the world, but you're not playing for a team.
But so you're right now. Your only thought, your only responsibility is to getting Manchester City back to where they were winning European titles.
But you're trying. You're scoring all the goals. It's everyone else talking about.
I understand that may be what you would be thinking.
No, but we saw his frustration after Monaco.
I get it. And I understand all of that. I
can't persuade you that.
No, when you're in the thick of when you're in a down spell with a club as you are, especially a club that means as much to you, the last thing on your mind is jumping ship.
Why does it mean so much to him?
Yeah.
He wasn't. He's not a Manchester boy. He's not grow up in the academy.
His dad was played for City. He grew up in Manchester. Yeah. He has a history with that football, a very long history with that football.
Sometimes you have some pride. You have some
I'm
pride,
just saying, no,
Dan.
but you
have some
asked me.
pride.
Wait, hello. Yes, Mario. What's that?
You have some pride,
But is
Dan,
there not
some
part of you
pride.
thinking, I'm the best striker in the world at the moment, I should be at the best team?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. First, I want to make sure that I show that I win the respect back for my name. Haaland is the jersey that I wear. This is what my dad was wearing. So I now want to carry that name forward and showing everybody like, this is what we're supposed to be doing. Even if my dad stopped at a certain level, I carry on and produce even more than that. Because that's the goal. He wants to impress his dad and the club where he is.
He wants
and
to
he's
win
gonna do that,
trophies.
and
He
he's
wants
doing
to
it.
surely win trophies, Mario, and he could do that better at other clubs.
That's what you would do.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
but
surely a professional.
Not what Erling Haaland would do.
I've done my bit for City. I've gone, Dad,
No,
well done.
no.
I'm making
Not
goals.
going
I've
anywhere.
scored lots of goals.
Hey, sometimes we can also be loyal, Dan. It's
No.
okay.
Yeah,
to be
that's
loyal.
right.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
that's right.
It's okay. I came back to your show, Dan. Look where I am now. I'm back on your show.
Exactly. I'm trying to send you,
Loyalty.
I'm trying to send you back to
Loyalty.
Birmingham.
I
They don't have you.
got to be honest with you. I got to be honest with you. It's concerning to see the inside look into the concept of loyalty and commitment with Dan Thomas.
No,
today.
are you not getting what I'm saying at all?
No, I get what you're saying. And if he continues to go in a downturn, eventually you're probably thinking of going elsewhere. But I think his focus right now is this team can be as good as it once was, and I'm going to be the reason as to why we're going to get back to the top.
Right.
That is the thought process. Whether that makes sense to you or not, I don't quite.
No, it's not me you have to persuade. I'm just,
Well, I know.
I'm just interested.
You're the one bringing it up, so apparently we have to persuade you.
Back at that drum.
I know, we'll have Don going on. He wants to stay and gets the Premier League goal scorer.
No, none of
Say
that.
that about Harry Kane a couple years ago as well.
Exactly.
None of that.
Mario, are you all right to stay for extra time? I know you haven't got much time these days. You're very busy. Is that all right? Can you,
No,
stay
for you, anything, Dan. For
Yeah.
you, hey, look, I'm lucky. Saka is there,
Yeah.
Ali is there. Of course, I stay with the boys.
Oh, I didn't say Atalanta. Well done.
Hey.
4 minutes to go. We'll see the only goal of the game.
You've matured so much.
Yes. Where's John Oglu? There it is. Nice assist.
Like this is on the defender.
Exactly.
Wanga just falling in far post.
What happened to the MLS
He's
awards,
not thinking
Ali?
this game.
Oh man.
Nice finish.
Assist to the
Nice finish, Dennis.
There we go. There we are.
Oh.
Good stuff, isn't it?
Hey.
With the victory. And taking a look at what that means, sitting fourth in the table. San Diego, of course, sitting top along Vancouver, but it's down where the lines are, aren't they? Which is very much becomes the talking point at this stage of the season. Extraordinarily close for those battling for a place in the postseason. Taking a look at the East Philadelphia Union, 4 points clear at the top of Cincinnati.
Winner of the Supporters' Shield as well.
Winner of the Supporters' Shield. I was just about to say that, Ali. Yes,
Okay.
winners of the Supporters' Shield. Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Ali and Shaka here in the studio, and after the longest summer holiday in the history of the world, Mario Malchiot
Yes.
is back.
Dan, I love my people. I love my people, Dan. That's
Yes.
the only reason.
Yeah,
I
I know.
love being with my family.
No, it's a beautiful family moment. Speaking of families, thank you very much to everyone who sent out messages over the last 48 hours. I obviously went to get a new liver, didn't work out, but I'm back here for international. A lovely treat. Everybody involved.
But no liver.
Not at the moment, no. Otherwise, I tell you, it'd be the quickest sprint ever. So dedicated. Right
man.
then, can Palmer, Estival and Lavia all be on the field at the same time, Mario? Seems like the day everyone is healthy, big decisions will have to be made regarding Enzo, Neto and others.
Yeah, I know it's going to be tough, man, to get them. Okay, when they fit, you know what the good part about this is? They're all talents, right? Great talents. But when talents compete, you get the better out of the team. So that's why, can they be all on the field? Yeah, they can, but the competition is ruthless. And I think that is what Chelsea is building and what they want. So the best should play. That's how I look at it.
You got to see the pronunciation, Ali, because I never do it justice.
What's that? Which one is that?
The Newcastle striker who has joined is the subject of our next question.
That's,
there we go. Is
Big Nick. Voltemada.
Voltemada. Voltemada. I'll write that down. Yes, good. Is Voltemada the best striker signing this season in the EPL, Ali? He's outperforming Sesko, Gyökeres, Isaac, Ekitike since he's made his debut.
I think Voltemada is a really good signing for Newcastle. I said it at the time that I thought his profile of player, I think, matches the personality of Newcastle. And Shaka would know this better than I do, matches the personality of the city of Newcastle. I think the fans of Newcastle will get back.
I don't know. I'm the expert on the...
You're the king of Newcastle.
You have the keys to the city.
Exactly.
No.
You were synonymous with Big Kitchen.
Big Kitchen.
If you don't know Big Kitchen, we're gonna...
Big Kitchen.
However, long term, I'm going to guess, while Voltemada will be a good signing for Newcastle, I'm thinking that both Isaac and Ekitike will have a more prominent role at Liverpool.
Do you agree, Shaq?
Yes, I do.
Good. I just gave that a lot of thought.
Okay.
Shaka, this is more like your sort of question. Who's more likely to go down? Wolves, who've yet to win a game in the league this year, or Forest, who have 7 consecutive matches in all competitions?
Right now, Forest.
Oh, Big Ange.
Yeah. I think Forest needs to make a change. I know.
You're going to sack Ange already?
Yeah. It's not my money.
Who are you going to bring in?
I
Big
don't
Sam?
know.
Just get all the bigs.
I guess
Big
some.
Sam. Bigfoot.
Bring Nuno back in. I don't know who I'm bringing in at this point, but clearly Ange isn't working out.
Oh. Who would have saw that coming? What a surprise.
Oh, the owner.
You want to
I
say
think Ange's got a meeting today, right?
Oh, has he,
Ange's got a
Mario?
meeting today.
Oh, a bit of
Yeah, I
insight
think he's
from
got a
Mario.
meeting with the owner.
Yeah?
He's got a meeting with the owner, so it could be a little shaky there.
He goes, oh, mate, wait till the second season. Right. Okay. Right, Ali, I'm going to go to you on this.
Okay.
Start, bench, or drop, or sell. We got 4 of them. These US men's and international players: Pulisic, Donovan, Dempsey, or McBride. Now, we know each other well enough.
Yeah.
If anyone follows Landon Donovan, he's been taking us through his hair journey over recent months and the problems that he's had. And I'm just wondering, is that something you would ever explore?
Are you inspired?
Are you,
To go through a hair journey myself or to share it with the world?
what, a bit of both, actually.
Neither.
Just show up. Just show up with just show up with
I love Ali, man.
new.
Ali, you're so straight.
I don't know why I put my hands like this.
With a new
Just show up with a new.
What you see is what you get.
Ali, you've just come back from your holiday from Turkey. What a shame.
Is there anything different about me?
Be like,
Nobody mentioned he's got all this beautiful
With a string in my hair.
Ah, here we go.
Ali.
Where were we?
The answer is no hair journey, and no, I would not share with the world either.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That was my question.
all right, okay.
Boring soccer question. Top 4. What's your order?
I'm starting Clint Dempsey
Yes.
right now, where we are. I am benching Christian Pulisic,
Okay.
and I am dropping McBride, and I'm selling Donovan and his hairpiece.
Really? It's put you in that sort of mood?
I'm not sure I get much for the hairpiece.
No, look, Landon Donovan is probably most would say he's among the top 2, top 3 best players in the history of the United States. I think it's a history that doesn't include players like, say, for example, Claudio Reina or Tab Ramos, who in their time were great players and didn't quite have the access to some of the things that Landon Donovan did, or the infrastructure that even a guy like Christian Pulisic has taken advantage of. So there's something to be said about players from the generation of Brian McBride that were able to work through what was a very uncertain landscape of soccer and get themselves in the position that they did. So it's a shout out to the old school when I go with Brian
That's
McBride.
wonderfully explained, Ali.
What?
I just felt it was a kind of a hidden dig at Donovan.
No, I thought.
Mario, would you?
I'm very good,
All
Alan.
right. Would you like to
Never mind,
contribute to this
he's just
conversation?
Angry with Haaland.
Mario's talking.
No, I think this conversation. Why? Because when I talk about the national team, I think you need to be really equipped and know more about them. But if I look at the individuals, I can only highlight them from what I've seen abroad. Dempsey did really well when he was at Fulham. I played against him a couple of times. He gave me a really tough game, so definitely picking him is normal. Pulisic, because I saw a lot of him. And Donovan, you understand, I think he did well for the national team, but when he came to England, he didn't do that well. So I will pick then, I will, what Ali kind of picked is, Dempsey will probably play because of the character and the way, boom. Then Pulisic, I will let him come on, and then Donovan, it depends. It just depends for me. I think I'm not the guy to really highlight it.
Final question, Mario. You are certainly the guy to highlight this. Let's take you back. You're 20 years old and you want a night out. Would you rather have a night out with young Xhaka at Howard University,
Oh boy.
with a young Dan in Southampton,
Oh boy.
or a young Ali in North Carolina?
Boy.
Oh, hey, listen. Whoa. Look, Xhaka, I know Xhaka will be, look, but Xhaka got to, he's got to make sure that the dance floor brother, you gotta, we gotta make it happen, man. If you're just standing at the bar and looking and not doing anything, I don't want to go out with you. Then, if you are a serious man playing serious guy at the bar, you understand, and you look, and both of you are not married at the time, eh? So
No.
if you're serious guy, no, I'm not in. But Ali, if you bring the jokes, I am in. We're going to Carolina. I've been before. I liked it. Everybody's nice to you. Let's roll.
Wait, what's the problem with sitting at the bar with me and Xhaka?
Even you, because you guys are serious. You're sitting like old guys. No, Ali is moving. Ali is Ali is showing up. Pop. It's pop. The UFC move. The UFC move. Pop.
I have another question. What
Okay.
difference does it make if we're married or not?
Yeah, but then you guys are boring. If you're married, look, even me, I'm with my missus. Now I don't want to go with you guys, but before that, let's go, guys.
Right,
No
but you
problem.
want to be on the dance floor with Ali,
Yeah.
as opposed to at the bar with me and Xhaka.
Hey, listen. Ali and the rest we keep private, but the rest, we dance.
I see it, Mario. I see it. Although
I've seen Ali on the dance floor with the biggest pina colada you have ever seen. Thank you very much, Mario. Great to have you back, mate. Much appreciated. ESPN FC returns tomorrow. Don't worry, Craig and Stevie are here to bring the down. International week as well. Everyone's going to be in a great mood.